Herman Perry. Fade in. Black screen. Super. In typewriter font. Based on a true story. Super. Some events have been altered and changed. Exterior. Jabua Stockade Jail, night. Super. March 14th, 1945. An eerie silence looms over the prison. The sound of crickets and gusts of wind beating against the stone walls of the prison fill the night air. In the distance, a coyote howls. 2 men walk inside the jail. Interior jail cell night. Private Herman Perry, 23, an African-American soldier, is sitting on the floor cross-legged, still wearing his dirty, tattered uniform. He's flanked by 10 Army officers, all standing at the ready. The soldier's eyes never veer away from Herman as he sits motionless on the dusty floor. Herman looks up from the floor when he hears a rusty hinge squeak as the prison door swings open. He hears footsteps coming down the long corridor towards the cells. He sits back against the wall, bracing himself for what's coming. Agony covers his face. The footsteps get closer until Robert, 24, Herman's friend, emerges from the dimly lit corridor and stands in front of Herman's cell. Herman's eyes light up when he sees the familiar face, but he quickly hides any sign of joy from the guards.
I'm glad you came.
I'm not.
No, I wouldn't expect you to be, but I'm glad you came all the same.
The hell is going on, Herman?
Herman shamefully looks away and avoids eye contact with Robert. Robert turns to an officer.
Can I have a moment with him? Please?
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Robert takes a step closer to the officer until he can discreetly speak to the officer and no one else can hear. Herman peeks up from the floor and watches Robert whispering to the officer.
10 minutes.
Herman's eyes widen in disbelief. Robert shakes the officer's hand. The officer opens the door to the cell and Robert enters confidently.
I wouldn't get too close.
Robert looks directly at Herman.
He's not going to hurt me. Thank you, officer.
The officer slams the cell door closed. Robert stands in front of Herman, looking down at him. Herman continues to avoid eye contact. There's a long moment of awkward silence.
Don't you have anything to say for yourself?
Herman shrugs his shoulders and slowly shakes his head.
For God's sake, Herman, do you understand what you've done and how these people plan to punish you?
Of course I do.
Then act like it.
And what would you have me do, Robert? Nothing I say will convince them to let me live.
You could at least try. Show some remorse, ask for forgiveness, beg for your life.
Robert gathers his composure and leans against the same wall that Herman is sitting against. Then, Robert slowly slides to the ground until he's sitting next to Herman.
Think about your family, Herman. Think about what they must be going through.
Don't you think I have? But they're better off without me now.
The Army officers glare at the exchange, trying to listen to every word. A few tighten their grip on their rifles. Herman notices and becomes reluctant to talk in front of them. Robert leans in close to Herman.
They're going to kill you if you don't plead your case. Tell them what happened.
They know what happened. I killed it.
Robert quickly reaches over and covers Herman's mouth with his hand.
Shh! It's bad enough you won't defend yourself, but you're going to sit here and give them a confession too? That's all they'd need to take you out and bang and hang you tonight.
Robert, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but this is a result of my own actions. I'm not running anymore.
I should have been there with you. I could have kept you out of trouble.
When has anyone ever been able to keep me out of trouble?
Herman looks at Robert and they share a brief laugh before Robert's smile quickly fades away.
Just wish I could understand what really happened that day.
Herman looks at Robert, then he looks up at the officers, who are all still focused solely on him. He lets out a long sigh and leans his head back on the wall behind him and closes his eyes.
We were on duty, doing the same things we've done 100 times before. It was a normal day. At least, it started out that way.